Dual is a grammatical number that some languages use in addition to singular and plural. When a noun or pronoun appears in dual form, it is interpreted as referring to precisely two of the entities identified by the noun or pronoun. Verbs can also have dual agreement forms in these languages. The dual number existed in Proto-Indo-European, persisted in many of the now extinct ancient Indo-European languages that descended from it, such as ancient Greek and Gothic, and can still be found in a few modern Indo-European languages such as Scottish Gaelic, Slovenian, and Sorbian. Among surviving ancient languages, Sanskrit uses dual forms across nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Many more modern Indo-European languages show residual traces of the dual, as in the English distinctions both versus, all, either versus, any, neither versus, none, and so on. Many Semitic languages also have dual number. For instance, in Arabic, is added to the end of any noun to indicate that it is dual. It is also present in those Khoisan languages that have a rich inflectional morphology, particularly co-languages. Comparative characteristics. Many languages make a distinction between singular and plural. English, for example, distinguishes between man and men, or house and houses. In some languages, in addition to such singular and plural forms, there is also a dual form, which is used when exactly two people or things are meant. In many languages with dual forms, use of the dual is mandatory, as in some Arabic dialects using dual in nouns, as in Hijazi Arabic, and the plural is used only for groups greater than two. However, use of the dual is optional in some languages such as other modern Arabic dialects including Egyptian Arabic. In other languages such as Hebrew, the dual exists only for words naming time spans, a few measure words, and for words that naturally come in pairs and are not used in the plural except in rhetoric, eyes, ears, and so forth. Although relatively few languages have the dual number and most have no number or only singular and plural, using different words for groups of two and groups greater than two is not uncommon. English has words distinguishing dual versus plural number, including both, all, either, any, neither, none, between, among, former, first, and latter, last. Japanese, which has no grammatical number, also has words dokira and or, etc., used in modern languages. Among living languages, modern Standard Arabic has a mandatory dual number, marked on nouns, verbs, adjectives and pronouns. Many of the spoken Arabic dialects have a dual marking for nouns, and its use can be mandatory in some dialects, and not mandatory in others. Likewise, Akkadian had a dual number, though its use was confined to standard phrases like two hands, two eyes, and two arms. The dual in Hebrew has also atrophied, generally being used for only time, number, and natural pairs even in its most ancient form. Inuktitut and the related Central Alaskan Yupik language use dual forms, however, the related Greenlandic language does not. Kokogaub and other co-languages mark dual number in their person-gender numbering clitics, though the neuter gender does not have a dual form. Austronesian languages, particularly Polynesian languages such as Hawaiian, Niuean and Tongan, possess a dual number for pronouns but not for nouns, as nouns are generally marked for plural syntactically and not morphologically. Other Austronesian languages, particularly those spoken in the Philippines, have a dual first-person pronoun. These languages include Ilocano, Tausug, and Kapampangan. These forms mean we, but specifically you and I. This form once existed in Tagalog but has disappeared from standard usage since the middle of the 20th century. With Kita as the only surviving form, the dual was a standard feature of the Proto-Uralic language, and lives on in Sami languages and Samoyedic languages, while other branches like Finnish, Estonian and Hungarian have lost it. Sami also features dual pronouns, expressing the concept of we two here, as contrasted to we. Nenes, two closely related Samoyedic languages, features a complete set of dual possessive suffixes for two systems. the number of possessors and the number of possessed objects. The dual form is also used in several modern Indo-European languages, such as Scottish Gaelic, Slovenian, Frisian and Sorbian. The dual was a common feature of all early Slavic languages at the beginning of the 2nd millennium AD. Arabic. In modern Standard Arabic, as well as in Classical Arabic, the use of dual is compulsory when describing two units. For this purpose, is added to the end of any noun or adjective regardless of gender or of how the plural is being formed. In the case of feminine nouns ending with ta, this letter becomes a ta. When the dual noun or adjective is rendered in the genitive or accusative forms, the n becomes ain. Besides the noun and adjective dual, there are also dual verb forms of compulsory use for second and third person, together with their pronouns, but none for the first person. The use of dual in spoken Arabic varies widely and is mostly rendered ain even when in nominative context, whereas its use is quite common in Levantine Arabic, for instance kilowain meaning 2 kilograms. Dual forms are generally not used in Maghrebi Arabic, where two units are commonly expressed with the word zu, as in zu kilo meaning a pair of kilograms, with the noun appearing in singular. In nearly all spoken Arabic variants, the dual verb forms are not used. Plural is used instead. Hebrew. Biblical and Mishnah each Hebrew in Biblical, Mishnah each, and Medieval Hebrew, like Arabic and other Semitic languages, all nouns can have singular, plural or dual forms, and there is still a debate whether there are vestiges of dual verbal forms and pronouns. However, in practice, most nouns use only singular and plural forms. Usually is added to masculine words to make them plural, for example, sefer, spherum, book, books, whilst with feminine nouns the a is replaced with ot. For example, para, parrot, cow, cows. An example of the dual form is yom, jomayim, jamim, day, 2 days, 2 or more days. Some words occur so often in pairs that the form with the dual suffix iam is used in practice for the general plural, such as iron, eniam, eyes. Used even in a sentence like, the spider has 8 eyes, thus words like eniam only appear to be dual, but are in fact what is called pseudo-dual, which is a way of making a plural. Sometimes, words can change meaning depending on whether the dual or plural form is used. For example, iron can mean eye or water spring in the singular, but in the plural eyes will take the dual form of eniam whilst springs are ainit. Adjectives, verbs, and pronouns have only singular and plural, with the plural forms of these being used with dual nouns. Modern Hebrew. In modern Hebrew as used in Israel, there is also a dual number, but its use is very restricted. The dual form is usually used in expressions of time and number. These nouns have plurals as well, which are used for numbers higher than 2. For example, the pseudo-dual is used to form the plural of some body parts, garments, etc. For instance, Regal raglayam ozin oznayam shen shinayam miayam naral, naralayam ge acutari vegabayam. In this case, even if there are more than 2, the dual is still used. For instance, lakay acute lev yeshaba raglayam. Another case of the pseudo-dual is dual tantum nouns. Nekudatayam ophanayam mishkafayam sahorayam shamayam misparayam. Co-languages. In Nama, male and female nouns have a singular, dual and plural, while neuter nouns only have singular and plural number. According to Gulderman, the non-Caucasian languages do not have dual number marking of nouns.